Let's take a look at the 33 starters that have accepted the 500-mile challenge in Indianapolis. The fastest front row in history will lead the field to the green flag, and leading them all will be Scott Dixon, who drives the fastest pole-winning car in the history of the race at a 10-mile average speed of over 234 miles an hour. And while Dixon is the pre-race favorite for most, he only has one Indy 500 win to his credit, that coming in 2008. Since then, a bizarre string of bad luck has prevented Dixon from returning to Indianapolis victory lane. 21 times, the race has been won from the pole position. Alex Palou starts alongside and is the 2021 NTT IndyCar Series champion. He picks up where he left off at the Indianapolis 500 last year at second place on the grid. Palou has one of the most consistent cars and is one of the most patient drivers. And starting alongside is Rocket Rinus VeeKay, who blistered the track during Saturday qualifying, setting the fastest single-lap speed seen at Indianapolis in over 25 years at over 234.7 miles an hour. And while he couldn't back that speed up on pole day, VeeKay's outside front row spot gives the Dutchman a great shot to win his first Indy 500. Row 2 inside sits Ed Carpenter, the 500's last link to its short track roots, cutting his teeth in racing in the Midwest midget and sprint car scene. The Butler University grad has tried to win Indianapolis since 2004, but hasn't succeeded yet. In the middle sits Formula One graduate Marcus Ericsson from Sweden. Pegged by many as a dark horse for victory, Ericsson has 2 IndyCar wins to his credit, but none on an oval. And outside is fan favorite 2013 champion Tony Kanaan, whose future at Indianapolis is uncertain, but the car he's in isn't, coming from the powerful Chip Ganassi stable. TK is just as much of a threat to win as ever. Row 3 has the true flavor of Formula One. Inside the row are 2 of the 3 Arrow McLaren SP drivers, who have both looked very strong in traffic. Pato O'Ward is one of the best personalities in the sport, and was in the hunt for victory last year, eventually finishing 4th. In the middle is Felix Rosenqvist, who's been quietly confident all month and could surprise the odds makers at the end of the day. And outside, in his rookie Indianapolis 500 start, is the Phoenix, Romain Grosjean, the fastest Andretti Autosport entry in the field. The average age of row 4 is 44 years old and contains 3 Indy 500 wins, 1 IndyCar championship, and 7 NASCAR Cup Series titles. Takuma Sato won the Indianapolis 500 in 2017 and 2020 and has been on the top of the speed charts all month long. Sato switched teams in the offseason and is now driving for Dale Coyne Racing. Will Power is the Indy 500 champ of 2018, but is still looking for his second victory. He's the fastest Team Penske car in the field. And on the outside, who could have guessed that Jimmie Johnson would actually someday run the Indianapolis 500? Jimmie's already won at the Brickyard 4 times in a stock car and finished 6th in his first IndyCar oval race this year at Texas. It was Jimmie's childhood dream to race IndyCars at the 500. For many, he's the sentimental favorite for victory this year. Youth has served in row 5. Inside is the 20-year-old rookie David Malukas. The young American has been fast all month and is a true dark horse for victory for Dale Coyne Racing. In the middle is Joseph Newgarden, still searching for his first Indianapolis 500 victory. Newgarden won on the oval at Texas earlier this season. Santino Ferrucci has never finished outside the top 10 in 3 Indy starts. He's got a great shot with Dreyer Reinbold Racing, a team that focuses 100% of their time and resources on winning this one single race. Row 6 has 3 strong contenders. Simon Pagenaud is the 2019 winner and moves from Team Penske to Meyer-Shank Racing in hot pursuit of his second Indy 500 victory with the team that won the race last year. Californian J.R. Hildebrand is in his second year with A.J. Foyt Racing and his 12th overall Indianapolis 500. At one time, Hildebrand was accepted into MIT and is one of the few drivers in the field who can truly help engineer his own car. And on the outside is Noblesville, Indiana's Connor Daly, who drove the local crowd into a frenzy last year when he led the race for 40 laps. He'll be charging from the outside of the 6th row. Rookie Callum Ilott is highly touted and still on Formula One teams' radars. He's a graduate of the Ferrari Driver Academy and a current reserve driver for the Alfa Romeo team. Ilott has found a home at Juncos Hollinger Racing, a team that has its own F1 connections, bumping world champion Fernando Alonso from the 500 in 2019. 2016 Indy 500 winner Alexander Rossi starts alongside Ilott in row 7. He's been starstruck the last few years with bad luck, but always seems to be a threat for victory lane year in, year out. And on the outside is Graham Rahal from Ohio, another driver who has come close but always seems to come up just short from winning the Indianapolis 500. He's just as hungry as ever for victory. Row 8 sees a Nazareth, Pennsylvania reunion as Sage Karam starts alongside of Marco Andretti. Karam finished 7th last year after charging all day from 31st starting spot. And alongside him is Marco Andretti in his 17th Indianapolis 500. He only runs one race a year, and it's the one his family has been chasing since 1969 when Mario won it. On the outside is Canadian rookie Devlin DeFrancesco for Andretti Autosport, who isn't afraid of being aggressive on the oval tracks. Only one Canadian has ever won the 500, that was Jacques Villeneuve in 1995. You'd be excused for mistaking row 9 for the front row of the grid. Inside is raw talent personified Colton Herta. Hampered by a blown engine in qualifying, Herta will have a long day fighting his way to the front. He's the most recent IndyCar winner this year, but in 7 career wins, none of them have come on an oval. In the middle is the young Kiwi Scott McLaughlin, who broke through to IndyCar victory lane in the season-opening St. Petersburg Grand Prix and was one corner away from winning at Texas, but was passed by teammate Joseph Newgarden on the final lap. McLaughlin reminds team owner Roger Penske of 4-time winner Rick Mears. And of course, speaking of 4-time winners, it's been 29 years since one has qualified for the Indy 500. Helio Castroneves is the defending champion of the race and is defending his title in the same car he won in last year. No driver has ever won the Indy 500 5 times, and Helio's race for history will be an incredible challenge from 27th starting spot. Row 10 is a mix of youth and experience. Taking over the famous AJ Foyt 14 is Indy Lights champion Kyle Kirkwood. In the center is Dalton Kellett, whose team is on the back foot after a crash on the Monday after time trials. And on the outside is 2-time winner Juan Pablo Montoya for Arrow McLaren SP, who can never be totally counted out. And on the final row, row 11, inside is Danish rookie Christian Lundgaard in only his 2nd ever oval race for Rahal Letterman Lanigan. His teammate Jack Harvey starts alongside and has struggled to find speed all month long. His sponsor Hy-Vee is one of the most committed in the sport. And on the outside is Stefan Wilson, whose last-minute effort to fill the field came together at the start of the month and becomes the first provisional starter in the race since 2017 after engine difficulties prevented Wilson from making a qualifying attempt. So that's the starting grid for the 106th running of the Indianapolis 500. What do you think? Who do you think will win? What odds are looking good to you? Let me know down in the comments section below. Thank you guys so much for watching all the Indy 500 month coverage this month. There's more coming. This has been David Land on YouTube. Subscribe and we'll see you in the next video.